Hey guys, it's Wolf Maiden, and today I'm going to be crocheting a blanket for use at LARP, for shawls, or just generally. And I have two different colors. One is this solid khaki color. It's a nice soft beige. And then I have this mixed color skein of yarn, which is called Oatmeal Cookie. Both by the same brand, and both are acrylic. For this project, I got 3 oatmeal cookie skeins because they had a little bit less yardage, and then 2 khaki ones. So these are gonna go together to make a blanket that I hope we'll all love. So first, as I mentioned before, I'm going to be using these 6 balls of yarn. I'm using a 6mm crochet hook, and I'm gonna do a double crochet blanket. So it's going to be one color for a while, then another color for a while, and then so on and so forth, until I have the right blanket length and width. So I chose these 2 colors. Now you can see a little bit closer up, and they have some really convenient things on them. It shows you how many skeins you need per project, so I went by that. I did half of one's value and half of the other, so that's why I had 2 and 3. And then I have my crochet hook, which you can see a little bit better here, the 6mm crochet hook. So the first thing I did is make a slip knot so that I could start the project. And once that's done, I put my crochet hook through it. And that's the start of the project. So starting off, I'm gonna go ahead and do a chain of 145, which is basically these loops. And this establishes how long I'm going to make the blanket. Believe it or not, when I first started crocheting, learning how to just hold the yarn was really difficult. I learned from a specific YouTube tutorial, and I hold it the way that they showed in that one. And then it took me a little while, but then the muscle memory kind of kicks in and you get kind of used to it, and understanding how to use your fingers to keep tension on the thread and stuff was difficult, but I did it. I'll link the YouTube tutorial that I followed down below. I just do the technical aspect, not the pattern aspect of their tutorial. And yeah, so this is the start of the next row. This is where crocheting gets a little bit confusing. But essentially, it's a lot of going under the little loops that you made and then bringing up and stringing along more loops. It's a whole thing. You can kind of see what I'm doing here. And then doing this essentially creates the fabric as you're going along. And you can see it kind of makes a belt-like thing when it's just a row. So it's possible to make like crochet belts and things like that. I'm definitely thinking about making a bunch of crochet accessories in the future, and I've already made a couple of things, but I digress. And this is what it looks like with a couple of rows done. This I'm going to continue for 6 rows, the khaki color, and then 6 rows of the oatmeal color. Like most things you try, I got better as I went along and got more used to this, and I had a lot of fun doing this. Did not think it was going to take as much time as it did. It was about 24 hours of work over the course of a few weeks. And here, so you get kind of the idea of how long it is, this is the full 6 rows of the khaki color done. So one of the things I had to learn during this project was learning to switch the color yarn that you're doing. This is what I'm doing, and then I get to start on this new color, which is awesome. I filmed over the course of a few different days, just continuing on, and you can see the progress as my blanket grows. You can see on my face how excited I was as the blanket had grown, and then I was right back at it, continuing to crochet, and this continued for days. I think overall it took me about 2 weeks to do this project, and it was about 30 minutes per row. I timed it at certain points and it seemed to be pretty consistent with that. 30 minutes per row, so 24 hours of work. But there were additional, like maybe hour or 2 fussing with yarn. At one point I think my yarn got tangled, so that was not fun, but yeah. And here the blanket is about halfway done. I think at this point I was maybe a few hours out from finishing, maybe I want to say like another 6 rows, something like that, I don't know, but I was getting close. And the closer I got, the more I wanted to finish it, so I ramped up a lot near the end, doing more rows every day, watching stuff, spending time crocheting rather than like playing video games and stuff. Definitely was more productive. At this point, it was almost done. I had 2 more sets of rows. I was really close. I was waking up, starting to crochet. I would turn my camera on and crochet, and that's what I was doing for the last few days. I was even able to use it as a blanket as I was crocheting in other places, and it was very cozy. So it's already been about 2 weeks since I started. It's basically this close to being done. Just fill this in and I'm done, and I wanted to do this on camera so you guys could see the moment it's finished. I'm very excited. This was a long project. And now finally, it's almost all over, which is bittersweet because I enjoyed doing this. Of course, I'm going to work on another project afterwards, so I'm excited to get this done because I still have my songbook that I'm going to be making next, because that's more important to me than the shawl right now, just because I want to be able to sing and teach people songs and learn new songs by having this available. One last one here, and that's it. A little bit of a tail, and then I gotta sew the end in here and then sew all the other ends, but it is done. I'm very excited to see what it looks like once I have it all. But yeah, now my blanket is done. To see a little bit what it looks like. It's really pretty just for wearing around in the cold. I love it. I'm glad I chose these colors. I think this is perfect for throwing over a cot or having it hang down if you have a cabin, or if you want to place it over the top of your sleeping bag. I think that this is pretty nice, but also obviously very nice to be able to use. It adds a very beautiful touch to, I would say, like any place. It's just really gorgeous. So now, getting to work, finishing sewing in the ends. So the parts that need the sewing of the ends done are the parts where I changed color. So like here I started with the beige color and then into the oatmeal yarn. So sewing the ends in basically looks like this. You want to tuck these threads in so they can't be seen. So you would put them on the thread, on the needle, and just kind of pass them through some things. I'm going to pass them through here. And then you want to go some other ways so they stay pretty secure in there. So I'm going to go here and through here, I think. There you go. So it does kind of make it look like a huge knot there on the back though. There's nothing there, but it's pretty unnoticeable for the most part, unless you're looking for it. I'm gonna do a couple more, maybe one more. There you go. All right, and then when you're done, you just snip the end off. And I'm gonna do that a bunch of times, so I will show you guys the project after all that's done. And here's the final look of the blanket. I definitely need to get some pictures of this in garb. I haven't been able to do that. I've been kind of busy, but this is what it looks like covering a chair. It might be a good idea as a chair covering because you can't even see the colors underneath this chair. So if you had a nice comfy chair you wanted and it wasn't decorum, you could throw this over and it would work.
And that was the making of my crochet blanket. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And let me know if you make your own, because this was my favorite project that I've ever done by far, especially with the outcome. I'm more than happy. I'm thrilled with this blanket. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.